So I've been wanting to make a video about organisation or organisational tips for quite a while now, but ironically I found it really difficult to organise the video in some kind of format that makes sense. There's no theme to this video, it's just random tips that help me become a more organised person. And I think the reason I wanted to give my opinion and put it out there onto the internet is because I feel like I'm slightly different to your average organised person. I feel like wherever I look, whether it's in kind of Stylist magazine or on YouTube videos, organised people tend to be tidy people. They also tend to be morning people, and I am so jealous of those people, but there's no point me trying to be someone I am not, and I'm never going to be the sort of person that wakes up early in the morning. I'm a night owl. I like to stay up late. I get loads of work done in the evenings. I feel like my creative juices flow more in the evening, and I've also never been a tidy person. Just ask my mum, I've always had a wardrobe. A wardrobe, in case you don't know, is when your floor pretty much becomes your wardrobe. I've always got clothes on the floor. Rich is always annoyed that I'm messy. He's the tidy one out of two of us. So I do feel like normally tidiness and organisation come hand in hand, but somehow I am a very organised person who is not tidy, and I'm not a morning person. So maybe that'll make some of you feel a bit better, that even if you're not a tidy morning person, you still have the ability to be organised. And I thought I would just run through a few things that help me become more of an organised person, and a lot of it is a change of mindset as well. The first thing is a calendar, and I live by my calendar. Since I got the iPhone years ago, I've always used the iPhone calendar and I absolutely love it. I actually have 3 different calendars. I've got a personal one that only I can see. I've got a work one that I share with my managers and agents, and then I have one for me and Rich. So I feel like that really helps, especially the one for me and Rich. If I make a time to see a friend or I'm going out for dinner, I put it in the calendar, and then Rich knows straight away that I'm out that evening. Obviously we still talk to each other, but it's really good if you can't remember if you're going to be home for dinner, and it's nice to see things that you're both kind of getting up to in there. I also love using the alerts in the iPhone calendar. I set myself reminders, so I'll put it in the calendar, but in case I don't remember to check the calendar, I set an alert kind of 5 or 10 minutes before the event to remind me to do something. It's very easy to kind of put things in a calendar, write lists, but I feel like a lot of the time you forget to actually check the lists and look in the calendar. I also recently created a wall calendar for myself. You might have seen in my Vlogmas vlogs, I printed off a calendar from Essie and then I kind of mounted it and stuck it on the wall. And for me, that's more of like a mental thing, to be able to see the year ahead. I am a massive forward planner, and I think that's a big part of being organised, is not leaving things last minute. I like to always think ahead. I like to always pretend that I've got a deadline to reach, even if I don't. For example, mine and Rich's wedding is quite a while away, but I'm acting like it's next week because I just like to be ahead. I would prefer to get everything done and then have time to relax and have any last minute emergencies come up. I always like to forward plan. So for me, seeing a calendar of the whole year on the wall really helps me plan out any holidays I have, make sure I don't miss any birthdays. I really like to visualize the year ahead. And that's another thing, because I'm a creative person, for me, I know that visual things really work. For some people, writing is okay and seeing things on a computer. For me, colors and visual things, I know they stick in my brain better. I know a lot of you guys who watch aren't bloggers or YouTubers, so I'm not going to go in depth planning blog posts. I've mentioned it in previous videos and blog posts before, but I do like to create tick lists for myself. And not everything gets ticked all the time, but it's nice to be able to tick off something on your list. And I also think that when you are making lists, don't make huge, complicated lists. I like to split them out into like personal things, wedding things, blog things, YouTube things. Have separate lists so that you can work your way through it and keep it small. You know, if some things aren't realistic, leave it for another day. Don't give yourself like a huge list because it's too overwhelming and you won't get any of it done. I briefly mentioned before giving yourself time to plan ahead. I've got that written down on my list because I really do believe in forward thinking and planning ahead of time. Before I travel, even if it's just like local travel, I have an app for the London tubes and I like to look how long the journey is going to take me, and if I'm going somewhere in the morning the night before, I'll plan my journey, work out how long it is, and I always like to plan to be somewhere 15 minutes to half an hour before. And half an hour before sounds like quite a long time, but there's always delays. And I feel like in my mind, if my meeting's at 9:30, I think that I have to be there at 9, because there's no harm in getting somewhere early. But for me, being late is a terrible, terrible trait. I hate being late and I'm hardly ever late. So if you just think in your head, just change the time, aim to be there at 9, act as if you're not there at 9, something terrible is going to happen, and then you'll probably be there on time. So I like to plan my journeys. I look on Google Maps a lot, plan how long car journeys are going to be or how long it takes to walk somewhere. On my phone, I have so many different apps. I've got a Tube map, I've got Google Maps. And then when I'm traveling abroad, I love to use the airplane apps as well. So there's like a British Airways one, a Virgin one, EasyJet. Those are the 3 that I use most of the time. And you can check in on your phone before whether you're dropping off your luggage or not. And I love to download my boarding pass onto my passbook on my phone, because then it pops up and it reminds you that you're going to the airport in case you're going to forget. It's so easy to get to. You don't have to like faff with boarding passes in your bag. It's always there on the homepage of your phone. It's like the best invention. You just tap it and then you can get on the plane. It's so easy to use. It makes the whole thing smoother and quicker. I feel like your email inbox is something that can always be very disorganized, and most people have very chaotic inboxes. When I see people whose phones have like 745 emails, that really stresses me out. And I've been there before. I know you can get to that point and then it's so overwhelming you don't know what to do. I know people that have like started new email addresses because of that. But if you can sort that out, start from the beginning, start again. I think it's really important to keep your inbox empty if you can, or just to like a minimum of 5 emails. And that sounds really hard, but by the end of every day, I really like to clear my inbox, whether it's replying to an email or filing it. I have files for all my emails. So I'll have personal, wedding, PR, events, finance. I've got all these different folders, and it's really easy once I've replied to an email to just file it away, and then it means finding emails is so much quicker. I hate when you have to search for an email and you can't find it. So I'm really into filing emails and clearing my inbox every day if I can. If I can't do it every day, then I try and do it by Friday. Something really random that I think I learned from my mum is to keep a stash of greeting cards in your house. I have a little collection of birthday cards, anniversary cards, Christmas cards, all kind of cards. Whenever I go to a shop and I see a nice card, I just buy it just in case. And you never know, your friend might get engaged or you might forget someone's birthday, and it makes you feel like a more organised person if you just have some cards that you can go and take a look and then give someone a card. Little things like that I feel like really change your life. As I mentioned, I'm really not a tidy person, but I do agree with the whole tidy desk, tidy mind thing. I am not very good at this, so I'm trying to give myself advice. My office that I'm in right now is a complete tip. It's like our storage room, and I do find it really hard to concentrate in here. My desk gets cluttered so easily. I don't know why. I've always got mess on there. But I try to tidy up at the end of the day so that at least when I sit down the next morning, I can start with like a blank canvas, but normally about an hour into the day, it's a mess again. Another kind of home tip is online food shopping. I think it completely depends where you live. Some people only online food shop. For me, growing up, my mum always used to go to the supermarket. So now that I have my own place, I've been doing a lot of online shopping. I feel like it saves time. And the best thing about online shopping is that you can save your favorites list. So things like pasta, chopped tomatoes, eggs, milk, things that you always get. I love that I included chopped tomatoes. I feel like that's not something that everyone gets, but I eat a lot of pasta. Those sort of things that you always buy are already on a favourites list, so it's so easy just to tick them all and then just add any extra kind of fresh veg or fruit that you want for that week. And it saves so much time. When you're walking around a supermarket, you pick up things you don't even need. I'm a big fan of online food shopping and favourite lists. The final thing is to keep notes. The Notes app on the iPhone I absolutely love. I have everything in there, from like potential child names that I've had in there since I was a teenager, to like blog posts that I write on the tube, or lots and lots of lists. I have a lot of lists in there. I think it's so good to write stuff down. I don't know about you guys, I have a terrible memory, but often I think of things and then an hour later I've completely forgotten. So I just write everything down, and sometimes I go through my notes and find things that I'm like, oh, I forgot I wrote about that. I don't know, I think it's really good to get stuff down in writing and see it there. So I feel like that was a little bit of a random video, but hopefully you got a few organisational tips from there. I know that I'm an organised person, but when it came to trying to pass on some tips, I did struggle a bit. I had to ask Rich, like, why do you think I'm an organised person? What makes me organised? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.